sending through, and these are some of the Twitter photographs people have sent through of them standing in queues to vote this morning around the country, and it's really heartening to see this. It really is. Some people talking to us on Twitter as well, some expressing a little bit of disappointment that some of the stations haven't opened as yet due to a couple of glitches, but we can see people standing patiently waiting for them to open. And that there on your screen is actually the Google Doodle, the picture that was there before, and that was what Google has got now. If you go into Google, you'll see the South African elections taking
some tweets as well. This one came from Kerry Richardson saying, "Going to cast my vote, so proud to be part of the movement. My vote counts, hashtag SABC elections, as we've been asking you to do." Roshni Naranda saying, "Make sure your X delivers services for all and not an elite few." Let's check out another one. Oh, I saw this picture the other day, Leanne.
Yeah.
This is what all the political parties have been doing throughout the past months or so, making sure that you, the voter, are being pampered.
Oh, that's so funny. We hope that happens after the elections as well. But anyway, we all know what happens and the promises. Hey, Somedana, we've joined us now to talk a little bit is Somedana Fikeni. Do you like this cartoon? All those promises, eh? The pampering and promises from political leaders.
Well, I think it's natural during election time. Political parties go overboard promising, and very often they hope that the voter may not be sophisticated enough to analyze what is the promise and what is the capacity and credibility of the party to implement the promise.
Yeah, and I think that could be one of the problems, is that people feel that there are all these promises in the run-up to the election, but when it comes to actually delivering on the promises, there seems to be a problem, and that's where the gap is.
In fact, that's the major problem of South Africa. If you look at the slew of policies that we have, you find that South Africa is one of the best set of policies, even the constitution itself, except that when it comes to implementation, the state capacity, sometimes the bickering amongst the role players, and including the state, the private sector, the civil society playing their roles to push us forward. That you do not see, which means we still have to work on the implementation side. Even if they were to take the manifestos of 2004 or 2009 and just implement half of what is being promised, would be far.
Yeah, that's the reality. And also, the other reality is a lot of people don't actually know what some of the policies of the political parties are. And I think one of the nicest things was this the survey that the City Press put together to say, look, here are the policies of a particular party. Put your vote by which policy you like, and then see who the political party is. And I think so many people were actually surprised that, goodness me, I didn't realize that this is actually a political party that I might favor, as opposed to what my heart is telling me.
Well, remember that historical reasons around political parties have created an emotional attachment or bond with those parties over time. But in terms of the policies, sometimes you do have a very small party with good policies, sometimes because they got a good consultant to put them together. Therefore, the issue of credibility doesn't just go on what is listed in the policies, but it's what's the track record of the party is.
Yeah.
And 29 promises, different manifestos, it can be very complicated for an ordinary voter to sift through all those, because those which are far away from governance are the ones which have the most idealistic platform, because they can promise anything. There is nothing that's going to happen because they are not going to be in government. The other problem is that opposition parties don't position themselves to be in opposition and say, this is what I'm going to do as an opposition.
Yeah.
They say, this is what I'm going to do when I'm in government. And yet you know that they are not likely to be in government in the next 30 years.
All right, well, let's just cross to some of our visuals that are coming through live right now. And we've been telling you that our Deputy President is going to be voting.